Coming up on today's episode, good Sunday evening to you all, YouTube. Here with you at about 5:30 in the evening, afternoon, whatever you call it. Just wanted to show you what I got accomplished this weekend. I did get this mostly done. The only thing I really don't have done yet is the antenna, and I really haven't decided how I want to put it. Thinking about mounting it on a board or something like that, so I can just stand up there, and hopefully that might work. I don't know. So that's just a couple of things I'm thinking about. Well, not a couple. Let me go over the connections here. This is totally wired except for the antenna. Now I will go over those two connections. The first one is the brown wire from the antenna, connects to the this end of the 0.05 microfarad capacitor, and that goes to ground, and that's the RF ground, and that would be the AVC line that we talked about before. The other, the red line from it goes to, get it around here, connects right here to the where the pink wire connects to, and that goes directly to pin 6 of the tube, 1R5. And so that's that. Now here's our filament voltages. Again, same thing, negative, positive, connects over here. This is the negative going to, obviously, ground, chassis ground right there, and the other one goes to pin 7 of the tube right there. So that's them. So now the other thing, the other connection points are B+, and that is right here. This is a positive B+ right here. So here's our capacitors I put together, and they go to ground, are 10 microfarads supposedly at 100 volts. And that's that. This is the negative lead for the B+ or the B- lead. It goes through the whatever, 820 I think it is, ohm resistor to ground, and that's that. Now this is a look at it. This is exactly as it was on the radio in the beginning. So everything is pretty much hooked up the same. Of course, the capacitors are different. This is the other oscillator lead from the antenna, or not from the antenna, but for the oscillator section of the capacitor, tuning capacitor. It goes to the oscillator, obviously. These are the secondary of the IF. There's one of them right there, and here's the other one right here. Those where our signal will come off. Everything else is pretty compact here. All the connections from the oscillator coil to the tube and wherever they go have been checked, and they are correct, so no problem with those. And like I said, the leads are much shorter now than they were. That might look like it's getting kind of close, but it's not really that close. That's the way it was, well, not the exact way, but that's the way it laid on that coil before. And that goes from the coil to the trimmer, and so that's that. In other words, this thing is just about ready to hook up and try. I want to get this antenna situated some way to where it can be mounted on something. I don't want to really mount it on the chassis because, for one thing, there's not enough room on that chassis. Let me show you the other side. There's our a look at our other side. And I got our IF in there just exactly like it was before. The tube socket is in there exactly like it was before, and I've even marked our tuning capacitor here, 160 or 1600, whatever you want to call it, is on this end, and 55 is on this end. So I'll know, I can look at that now. See, I've got the arrows on this top to know that it goes from this way on the top side. So that way, in case this gets taken off, I'll know how to put it back on. But I don't think it will. But like I said, there's a look at that. no other problems that I can foresee or whatever. If this is going to work, this should work. That's my thought on it. That's a good thought, right? If it's going to work, it should work. I'm going to try to set up some legs on this eventually if this does work. I want to do a test first before I go any further, because there's just no sense in messing with it unless it's going to work. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So, anywho, that's the next step probably, is making a test of the radio hybrid, what are you going to call? I'm going to do that off, or not off camera. Well, I may do it off camera, but I will video it when I find out if it works or not. If it don't work, I'm just going to tell you it don't work. Because it's no sense in going through all the aggravation I went through before, and I just feel like, the best thing to do is just test it out, see if it works, and if it does, then we can play around with it and see what it does. But if it doesn't work, obviously there's still a problem. And I really don't know what that problem could be now. I mean, if it doesn't work like this, which is, basically exactly how it was in the radio. Of course, I never heard it in the radio, obviously. I don't know that it even worked in the radio. It may not have worked there. But, all the coils are good. Or at least they have continuity. I shouldn't say they're good, but that just means they have continuity. And so that's what we're looking at. I think that's a pretty good looking little job. I didn't take too long to do this. Biggest things were getting the tube socket back in, and the oscillator coil back where it was at, and the trimmer back where it was at. And now that has been done, the hookups were easy because, like I said, the wires were pretty short. I've got one extra ground wire here, and I don't know what I'll probably end up just cutting that off, because I don't think it's going to be necessary for anything that I know of. So it was just part of the I wanted to leave it on there in case I needed to connect to a ground, and really didn't have to. The only thing I had to connect to a ground was this one here, and it would reach over here easier than it reached there. So that's that. So I think that's a good look at it. Again, like I said, much more compact, more close together, shorter leads. I'm hoping that will make a difference too. Also, whatever. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it. Again, like I say, the last thing I have to do is this. I've got some pieces of wood. I don't know that they're big enough to really hold that. Like something like this. See, that would just barely fit that. Now I can put that in there, but you can see how floppy it is. So I don't know that would be any good. That's my little, what do you call it, that I made that I don't really use. But I've got other ones as well. I do want to use wood though, because metal, I don't know. I thought I did check that to make sure it wasn't connected to anything, and it's not. But here you go. There's one right there could be used. Just wondering if I put it like that and put it screwed down pretty tight, maybe that will keep our. It might keep our. I don't know if it would or not. So it's pretty floppy. Not the floppiness doesn't really bother me that much. It's just that I'd like it a little bit more stable than that if I could get it more stable. This piece of wood's not even just a piece of something that fell off of something else, I think. Here's one that's more. Yeah, that one's good there. That's probably what I'll use right there. I may try to go ahead and hook it up like this, and that will give me, see that if I push down on it, it makes it a little more rigid, and I think that might be a better deal. So that's probably what I'll do. Find me some little wood screws and screw that down to that, and that'll be the end of that. And then I can connect everything up. Might have to extend the brown wire just a little bit. It's very short. This one I think will reach, but anywho, that's gonna do me. Alright, well that's what I've been up to this weekend. Really haven't done much else. It's just, getting back to this, I didn't get a chance to say too much about this the other day. This is our next, or not next, upcoming project, I should say. this was, I gave the number 1593L because it's specifically the project that we're putting in here fits in this box. And like I say, nobody seemed to know what it was, and you'll see in a little bit when I get the board that fits in there, and then we'll go from there. But once that comes in, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Happy about the last live we did. That was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a little difficult to keep on topic, but that's to be expected when you've got a chat going, because you have to talk to people in the chat. You just can't ignore them. And so if things go as good as I hope they will and continue to go well, I probably will appoint a moderator for the chat, just in case there is any kind of something creeps up or pops up that you know, people can know that there is somebody there watching. And so that would be a good idea, I think. So probably we'll do that. Like I say, that's going to do this one. I don't know when the next live will be. DB was talking about that. He said he was looking forward to the next one, which I am too, but at the same time, I want to do something a little different. I'd like to do something back here. I do have the camera back here, and I can do things. So I think that might be a good, wise decision. So anywho, that's going to do me. Like I say, we'll talk about that later on. You guys, in the meantime, have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you.